Hi, it's Bruce. If you're a Florida beekeeper, the odds are really good that you have watched a lot of YouTube videos to get advice. But most of those videos come from our brother and sister beekeepers up in the more northern climates. If so, there's a good chance that you have panicked about things that are normal down here in Florida. If you have ever opened up your beehive and said, ah, crap, I think I broke it, this video is for you. Stick with me. Okay. So 5 items that can make you panic when you're a beekeeper here in Florida. The first one is the big one, bearding. My goodness. Florida bees will beard a lot. Now, nobody seems to be bearding today, but at any time during the year, summer, winter, fall, they can beard up. And usually it's not a sign of them swarming, though sometimes it is, but usually it's not. It is all about heat and humidity. Bees are masters of thermoregulation. And so when it's the summertime, when it's really hot out here, the bees will have a good significant portion of their population will beard up on the outside of the hive. And it's normal. It doesn't hurt anything. What they're doing is there's fewer bodies inside the hive, so it's cooler in there. It reduces humidity. Now think about the humidity for a moment. When the bees have gathered up a bunch of nectar, before they can have it turn into finished honey, what they have to do is dehydrate it down to 18% or less moisture content. To do that, they will set up an air current flowing through the beehive, and they will actually just suck the moisture right out of that honey. And then when it's at the right moisture content, then they'll cap it over as finished honey stores. Amazing how they do. If your colony is strong and it has plenty of bee space, bearding is not a problem. Okay, this is normal Florida behavior. Now, when do you worry about it? The main time you worry about seeing a massive beard on the face of the colony is if there's no space inside that beehive for the queen to lay her eggs. More than likely, they're going to swarm on you. So keep your eye on those signs. But normally here in Florida, the bees will beard up. No problem. Again, number two, spotty or changing brood patterns. You go into your beehive, and instead of that solid sheet of capped brood that we all love to see, you see a shotgun pattern where the queen has only laid a few. Now, that doesn't necessarily mean that the queen is old and sick or needs to be replaced for some reason. Here in Florida, the queens will slow down laying for various reasons. If you go into a dearth during the summertime, you go in there in July and is not many bees, not much capped brood. Give it a little time. This is normal here in Florida. This happens. Okay. The key here, the thing to ask yourself, I got this bee getting ready to pop me here. She's giving me a hard time. um, the thing to ask yourself when you look at them, are there eggs? If there's eggs, don't worry about it at all. But if you have a colony that's normally pretty good and suddenly you find spotted brood patterns, don't immediately worry about it. Give it a little bit of time. Don't panic. This happens here in Florida sometimes. Of course, sometimes you'll find that they're hopelessly queenless, and you do have to introduce a new queen. It's not a big problem. Hello, ladies. Come around this side. So these bees are pretty hopelessly queenless right now. And they're checking her out. They're checking her out. If they had a queen, they would be climbing on. This would be a foreign invader type of queen. And so they would be trying to kill her. But right now, they're just saying hi. So more and more bees are smelling something to come around and look. Yeah, I think they're pretty happy to see her.
Wrap around. Sorry about that. Camera work today. You got any mama there? Wow, this is a real thick frame.
Just a little bit of honey on it. Come on, old boy, get off here. Big old drone. Yeah. Okay. Just a little bit of old brood on these two. And so that's what I want to see. So I'm going to tuck her in just right here. I'm just going to press the cage just about like that. So now she's between this old brood. Okay, go this way with this one. Number 3, in the summertime, mean bees. Mean bees. Oh my goodness. Some days you walk out in the backyard here, if I was sitting out here, I'd have bees pinging off my head. Mean bees in the summertime. If you find that in the heat of the summer, your bees turn defensive, welcome to Florida. This happens to us. That is a normal thing here in Florida. It doesn't mean that you suddenly have Africanized bees, okay? This is kind of normal in Florida. In the heat of the summertime, they don't want to be messed with, just like I don't want to be messed with if it's a really hot day. If there's a sudden dearth, the bees are kind of grumpy. That happens. Okay. I had a fellow tell me a story. He said that he had a camera set up on his beehive, and he noticed that the bees were really grumpy. And every time he went in the backyard, the bees just wanted to beat him up. And he couldn't figure out what was going on. The queen was laying, there was plenty of food stores. He just couldn't figure out why the mood was bad. And so he watched his camera overnight and discovered there was a big old raccoon that would come around at night and it would scratch on the front of the beehive. And so the bees would all come out wanting to, fend off the intruders. And that raccoon just sit there and scoop them up and eat them. They were mad all day after that. So there might be something external. It doesn't necessarily mean Africanized genes if your bees are grumpy during the day. What can you do? Well, when it's really hot, your best practice down here in Florida is to go out, do your hive inspections early morning before it gets too hot. That is really a good idea. Don't over smoke them. A lot of times that'll make them bothered too, but just keep the smoke to a minimum. We have afternoon summertime. We have afternoon showers, rainstorms, thunderstorms. That's a normal part of summertime in Florida. Try not to mess with the bees when there's low barometric pressure, the clouds are moving in, there's thunderstorms on the horizon. The bees do not want to be messed with at that time. Do those things, and it's pretty pleasant to work with them. Okay, that was number 3. Number 4, your hive weight is dropping fast. Okay, what does that mean? When you have these bees, you don't have to go inside the beehive every week, every other day, something like that. You don't have to do that. But as a best practice, you should be, first of all, standing outside the bees and observing them. And you watch the pollen coming in and out. You watch just the normal business of them coming in and out. You can get a pretty good idea that things are going pretty well in your beehives. That's cool. But another thing you should do as a best practice is check the weight of the hive. All you got to do is just go up and lift up the back of the box a little bit. Just, it's you keep a little note in your head of the weight. You don't have to put it on a scale or anything. Now, if I go out and I check the weight of my hive and I see that the weight has dropped dramatically, I don't need to panic. It doesn't automatically mean there's a huge problem. Okay. The weight of the hive, it can drop quite a bit from one week to the next week. That happens. You might have a dearth and the bees are hungry. So they're going into their stored honey and they're eating up what they've got. So don't panic, but investigate just a little further. Open them up, see what kind of stores they have, check the mood and the brood that they have. And if they are hungry, feed them. If you have a dearth, summer, winter, doesn't matter. If the bees are hungry, give them food. It's not hard. And that will help maintain a healthy colony. So that's a good one. So that was number 4, the weight dropping fast. Don't panic. It doesn't mean failure down here in Florida. Number 5, seeing pests without an immediate collapse of your colony. Oh my gosh, I open up the beehive and there is small hive beetles all over the place. I might find ants. Man, here in Florida, those bull ants are a huge problem. I've been known to burn up those with a torch and stuff, but pests, you might find wax moths and things, okay? Don't panic. Investigate a little further, right? If your bee colony is strong, they will manage pests. They will keep wax moths out, easy for you to say. They'll keep your wax moths out. They will corral up the small hive beetles and they'll build little jails and keep those beetles under control. They'll push the ants up to the very top of the box where they don't actually get into the brood chamber. The bees are really good at that if you have a good, strong colony. Where you might have to worry is if your colony is weak. And if your colony is declining, say something's happened to the queen and the population is dropped, and at that time you might find your hive slimed out from the small hive beetles. You might find the wax moths working in there, making tunnels and stuff. Yeah, that's a problem. I mean, it's not something to panic about, but you may very well have lost that colony. For drastic measures, you look at the queen, you may be able to save it if you catch it in time. If you catch it early, you can save it usually. Sometimes you might have to put a new queen in, okay? But that's part of what the bees have us to do for them. So the bottom line on that is pests are a symptom of the problem, but the pests are not the root problem. Something else has gone wrong if you see the pests are taking over. Okay. All right. So I'll finish this up. Bee, quit that. So, in conclusion, beekeeping down here in Florida is a little bit different than it is up north. And I hope if there's something that you've seen in this video that would stop you from panicking, you go ahead and give me a like and a subscribe. And I'll not lie, on that note, if you had something that did make you panic with your bees, let me know in the comments. I'm real interested in seeing what you have to say. All right, well, as always, I really appreciate you sticking all the way to the end with me, and I will see you the next time.